Hello everyone! Today in this tutorial I will show you how to quickly and easily stretch beautiful socks. They really keep you warm for the winter and are also suitable for beginners, as it is a relatively simple sock model. They fit both women's and men's sizes. I will link you the general sizes. We will now begin with the furcy. That means we have completed our work and finished the round again. That means this is the end, so our thread is exactly in the middle. And now we simply crochet the first stitch and the last one together. That means we just keep crocheting with our hook. Again, right stitches as always. As simple as the stitches appear. We finish with a right stitch, turn the work around, and now we knit the first row of our fias. That means we knit the stitches back as they appear, so now with the left needle. That means yarn in front of the needle, knit purl stitches just like at the beginning, yarn in front of the needle, purl stitch, and so on, the whole round. This is basically our first round now. So, we finish the first round with a purl stitch and turn our work again, and now we knit the second round with only knit stitches as they appear. We will do this as often as the number of stitches we have on a needle. That means depending on how big you want your bag to be, since I currently have 14 stitches on the needle, I will knit a total of 14 rows upwards. Always alternating as they appear, one round of knit stitches, one row of purl stitches. We always start simply with a knit stitch and then continue from there. If you complete these 14 rounds or so. After knitting 14 rows, we will see each other again. Good. After the 14 rows, your work should look something like this. That means the insurance goes up here. Next, we always knit when our row consists of purl stitches, so in this round we will knit the first two and the last two stitches together. It works like this. We actually knit like a normal purl stitch, inserting the needle not only into the first stitch, but also into the second. We insert the first two stitches and then knit them normally as if they were a purl stitch. We only have one stitch left on the needle. We will knit the rest normally with purl stitches. Good. And with the last two, we place the thread in front of the needle and insert it into both stitches. And knit them again like a left stitch. In the second round, which is our right round, we knit a normal knit stitch. We don't actually knit together unless the stitches appear on the left. We'll keep doing this until we reach our needle here. There are only as many stitches as there are on these two needles. That means 14 stitches for me now. Just to reiterate, when the row appears on the left, we knit the first two and the last two stitches together on the left. We knit the right row normally, each stitch as it appears, and on the left we knit the first two and the last two stitches together. We will do this until we have the same number of stitches on the needle as on the other two needles. In my case, it's 14. See you later. Your working time is now a bit on the rise, and in my case, you still have 14 stitches on the needle, and now need the entire set of double-pointed needles. Now comes the part that isn't actually the most difficult when knitting socks. We are now picking up stitches again, so I'm really going to make a fairy on my cloth. This works like this. We will now always record every second round. So here the stitch is still linked, which means we take the second one, always inserting from bottom to top, from outside to inside, and now we take every second one. So not this one, but this one again. One always goes from bottom to top, sometimes a bit tighter, but actually tight is quite good because then we can insert a slightly too tight little tip from top to bottom, pull it a bit upwards, and then go back in from bottom to top. As I said, for beginners, this is really the only thing that is a bit tricky when it comes to knitting a sock, which is to pick up the stitches cleanly here to avoid having any holes. I now have the same number of stitches on the needle as here, so in my case 14 stitches, and I'm just knitting these newly cast on 14 stitches with a new needle. It's often a bit tight, but as I said, that way there won't be any holes in the socks at the top. Well, now you see, it was indeed very tight, but now the exception here is really quite snug, and you don't have any of those ugly holes that you often see. We will knit the next 2 needles normally, always using knit stitches. Now let's pick up a stitch in every second row again. This is our first one. One again pierced from bottom to top. And we knit the newly cast on stitches again on the right side. They are tight again when putting them on, but while it's annoying to put them on when they're tight, at least we don't have any ugly holes. Such a beautiful, even pattern on the heel. So, to the beginnings among you, the most difficult part is now done, but now it will be quite easy again. Now we have one needle too many, so to speak. We are now dividing these 14 stitches we just knitted up on our heel onto the 2 needles. That means with the needle we just used to pick up the stitches, now we will knit 7 of the 14 stitches in stockinette stitch. Pulling back, here you can see our heel, that it is really nice and close to the needle and we have no holes. We take the other needle, knit the other 7, depending of course on how many stitches you have per needle, depending on what size you are knitting. So you can put the needle away. Now we have our usual number of needles. Here we knit the other cast-on stitches. Now they are already working much better. And knit until we have only 2 stitches left on the needle, then I'll show you how it continues. We will knit the last 2 together on the right side. Before we knitted together on the left. Knitting together on the right works the same way. We knit it like a regular knit stitch, but instead of just knitting 1 stitch, we also insert the needle into both, pull the yarn, and have knitted 2 knit stitches together. The next 2, we will knit normally on the right side again. And then we do it the same way on the other side, only this time we knit the first 2 together. Good, we're back with the recorded ones, our case, nice and tight again. And now knit the first 2 together on the right. That means we go back into the second stitch, go through both stitches, pull the yarn and have knitted both stitches together. Then knit all stitches on the right. Well, that was basically the principle in the next round. We knit all stitches on the right as they come, meaning we do not knit any stitches together. In the next round, we'll knit the last 2 here again. I'll show you in a moment. The next round means to knit all stitches on the right side. In the round after next, meaning every second round, we will knit the 2 stitches and the 2, that is, the last 2 on the first needle and the first 2 on the fourth needle together, every second round. Now we will continue until we have the same number of stitches on the 2 needles as we do here, which is 14 in this case. After that, you can already see how the face is basically going in here, then it pulls over that. Now you can really take it easy. Always knit a round, knit all stitches on the right, 1 round, then knit the last 2 stitches of the first needle and the first 2 stitches of the last needle together. Then a nice edge simply forms there. Good, when you have done that, we will see each other again. Good, your face is now finished and should look like this. You can see here, it's quite tight, there aren't any big holes, which makes the sock just a bit nicer. From now on, it will be very easy because he will only knit the stitches like at the front of the leg, and he will do this for as long as you need. I knitted mine in size 37. Here it is measured from the heel cap. I measure here to the front of the shaft, which can be seen here. There you go, you're great, let me measure. It is about 3 centimeters. A little tip, if you're knitting a different size and have the opportunity for the person it will belong to try it on, you can simply have them try it on. And if the little C is basically covered, you can start with the tip. I filmed the summit in a separate video, which you can feel free to check out.